What's up, guys? Happy October. It is Shoklo coming at you. We are going to do the Halloween franchise ranked. These are my personal favorite picks here, going from the worst to the best. So, we're going to look at all 12 movies in honor of Halloween Kills. I'm going to give you my personal preference. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Does my list suck? Is my list awesome? Post your favorite movies. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me everything you need to tell me because this is just my personal list. Obviously, on other people, it's always going to be different. So, don't hate on this list because some things might make you a little unhappy. So let's get right into it. First thing, we got the S, A, B, C, D, S being the best, D being the worst. And we're going to just crack right into it because everybody just thinks this movie sucks, and I totally fucking agree. We're going to put Resurrection right at the bottom of the barrel. That movie is gum on my shoe. That's all I can say. I mean, I remember going to the theater hoping to see this and sneaking in back whenever 2001, and I didn't get in. Thank God I didn't get in because that just would have scarred me for life and never watched a Halloween movie again because this movie is just fucking terrible. There is one promising thing is that it's the beginning with Jamie Lee Curtis, but the scene 10 minutes, I mean, that was awesome, but ultimately the whole movie, if you just watch the movie for the first 10 minutes and then call it a day, I think you'll like the movie. Let's put it that way. So, fucking terrible. D-list for sure. Next, we'll get right into this one. We got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I am a big Michael Myers fan. With no Michael Myers, it's not a Halloween movie to me. I'm sure people felt that way. I think the concept's cool, what they went for, trying something different. But to me personally, this movie just didn't do it for me. Using the Halloween name was probably a mistake for this movie. It probably would have been good as a standalone. But to me, it is in the D category. It is not that great of a movie. So let's move right on. We're going to put Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. What an experimental pile of trash. That's all I can say about this movie. I mean, Rob Zombie's just the king of fucking horror when it comes to music. And, his movies are okay. They got a certain style, I guess. Every Rob Zombie movie's like, he thinks reality is strippers and hillbillies and shit. Every movie you come across is just the weirdest vibe you can ever get. But I still respect the guy, and Halloween 2 was just a mess. I mean, it just did not work for me. I hated all the dream sequences, the horse, the white horse, and all that. It just, it was too confusing, when it comes to it. And then at the end, I mean, my God, you got a homeless Michael Myers, trying to, beg for change at this point. It was so bad. Just didn't like it at all. Didn't like the concept of it. I mean, some of the death scenes were pretty cool. I remember Buddy and the security. I mean, that was a pretty good scene. It was shot really well. But ultimately, this film is a total fail. I think everyone knows it. I think Zombie knows it. So let's break into the next one. We got Halloween 6. I'm going to put in the C list. The movie's very dark. It's a very dark movie. The direction's cool. The concept's cool. I see what they were going for here with the cult, the thorn. But ultimately, the movie just didn't work for me. I think his mask looks probably one of the best masks in the franchise, in my opinion. It's definitely up there in the top 3 for me. But this movie, I just couldn't take much interest to it. I tried watching it so many times, and I know there's 2 cuts of the movie, but I've watched both, and I still couldn't just get into it. I didn't like it. So I would put Halloween 6 as something I would always skip over when the time comes. No nostalgia for it, nothing. I do love the dark. It's very dark. I love his mask, but I just hate the whole storyline, of that, and just some weird elements in that movie that, it's very 90s to me. But let's move on from that. We're going to crank it right up to the B list because all these movies down below are pretty special to me, except one. Actually, I forgot. I'm going to throw one more in there for you guys. Halloween Kills. What a fucking horrible movie. That movie sucked. I hated it. I was so hyped up to go. I went on opening night, and the camera just fell. And the next thing you know, I am completely disappointed. Completely. Just ridiculously disappointed. It was a horrible movie. Everything sucked about it. I hated it. I thought it was horrible. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. It didn't work. I can name so many things about that movie that sucked. The kills were pretty brutal, but they weren't enough for me. It's basically just a slaughter fest, and then you got Tommy Doyle trying to be a big Billy Joe badass. Just basically gets owned the second he steps up to Myers. I mean, it was like this big finale, and then poof, done. Like he's just done. It was laughable. The whole movie just was completely laughable. I mean, I wish I can maybe exclude this one and watch Halloween 18 and then go into Halloween Ends, and maybe that'll make more sense for me because I just want to eliminate this movie out. I saw it in theaters and I never saw it again, and it's going to stay that way. So we're going to move right on. We're going to go into the BAS because all these movies are pretty awesome now that we got the dumpster fires out of the way. So we're gonna go with Rob Zombie's Halloween. You know, this was a good remake. I got to give Rob Zombie a lot of credit with this movie. I mean, from the opening, seeing Myers as a kid, you know, it's like a new premise to going into the insane asylum to breaking out to just going straight into the Michael Myers story. I thought that was badass, and he did it really well. Michael Myers was terrifying in this movie. I mean, he had a great mask. I thought, you know, the actor that played him, I know he was a WWE wrestler, I think. I could be wrong about that, but still, just huge fucking guy and just totally intimidating. I would be scared as fuck if that guy was in the corner of my room right now. So this movie was, you know, something I watched when I was maybe high school, just getting into high school. So it really was like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, this movie is something else. Michael Myers is terrifying. You know, Dr. Loomis, you know, he played a good portrayal in that movie, too. I forget his name, but Clockwork Orange, that's all I can say. There's a lot of forgetting on this. I'm kind of pulling this video out pretty quick here. But nevertheless, great movie. I liked it. Obviously does not live up to the original, but for remake and coming off a House of a Thousand Corpses, this movie was pretty awesome, I gotta say. So we're going to go into H2O in the B list. This movie to me was like a Scream copycat. It almost felt low budget, I would say. The kills were horrible. There was no crazy kills in it. I mean, I did like the little elevator shoot scene. That was pretty badass. I like that when she got her leg all fucked up. But nevertheless, The Mask was a fucking disgrace to the franchise. There was nothing good about it. Wasn't scary at all. Not at all. I mean, it just didn't work at being in a school setting, and it just wasn't nice. I mean, the ending was obviously great when he cut off Michael Myers' head, which definitely should have been the end of the franchise at that point, but instead they gave us that big steamy pile of dog shit called Resurrection. But that was still badass, that scene. The fight was good, but a lot of things left here that are not desired, whatever you want to call it. I desired way more in this film. I remember renting it when I was younger on VHS, and it was not the same kind of movie. It was just like low budgety to me. It didn't work. So, not the best movie in my opinion. It's watchable, but maybe once or twice, and that's it. I wouldn't pull it out for date night. No way. But, all right, let's get into the next one here. All right, so we got Halloween 5. This movie has nostalgia written all over it for me, but I love his mask in this movie. I think his mask is fucking awesome. I know a lot of people hate it, but I actually love that mask. I think it's just terrifying looking. Obviously a bigger dude. The whole beginning was just a fucking clusterfuck with that bird guy or whatever holds him for a year. Yeah, right. You know, makes them hold him for a year and then he just kills you. I mean, they came out with some deleted scenes for this movie that just got posted. I thought they were pretty badass. It actually kind of helped the story, if I remember, just a little bit. Enough to really make you wonder, you know. But this movie overall sucked, in my opinion. Like, it was not that great. This pick is up here for nostalgia reasons because I watched it. The mask is great. The kills are okay. I love the pitchfork kills in the farm. That's always cool. The car chase, but God, Jamie was fucking annoying, screaming all the time. It was just scream, 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 scream. It was just on another level of annoying. So, whatever. Let's get into the next movie here. We got Halloween 4 nostalgia. This one's big. This movie set the fucking theme for Halloween. I mean, my God, they captured Halloween so well in this movie. Look at you ever watch the intro of the movie? It's like, oh my God, it's literally like Halloween written all over it. And there's really nothing there. It's just a farm with some Halloween decorations, but it just captures the whole fall feel of Chicago since I'm from here. And it just fits so well. I mean, the story was pretty cool, you know, that he's burned and then he comes back. I mean, the thumb in the forehead, I always remember that. That's just a little crazy, but you know, at the gas station scene when he's got that like cloth on his face, that is the badass Michael Myers I remember right there. It's just like you see him, they do a close-up shot, and boom, right on him, and it's like, wow, this is fucking awesome. So this movie's definitely got a lot of nostalgia, and one of the kills that stuck out to me the most was, I think it was like Bucky or something, the electrician guy that gets thrown onto the transformer. That was fucking cool, man. I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I was like, holy shit, this is like crazy watching that. It just, I don't know. It was great, nostalgia great. The story was a little off, but this movie definitely captures the Halloween vibe, and it's always a watch every year for me around Halloween time. I always watch Halloween 4. Um, that's pretty much it for that. So let's get into the next one. We got Halloween 2018. I saw this movie alone in a theater by myself because I was so ready to see this. I couldn't wait. I was so fucking amped up. And honestly, it didn't disappoint. It was a great movie, and I loved the premise. I loved everything about the change in the story. I thought it was fucking amazing. Michael Myers gets captured and he breaks out. I mean, sure, there was a couple things that were just not that great about it, but the whole Michael Myers coming back, they shot that movie so well, I think. Like the scene where Myers puts on the mask out of the trunk of the car after he kills the people in the bathroom, the reporters, that is one of the best scenes with the best song for the soundtrack you could ask for right there. It is so fucking epic. I mean, there's a lot of good kills. You got that dad that was the most fucking annoying guy. I hated that guy. I was so glad when he died, And then you got outside when Michael Myers finally gets to Jamie's house after he kills Seriton. He goes to the house and he's standing outside. The fucking music starts playing after he kills Ray. It's like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking awesome. But anybody that can tell you watching that in the theater at that ending, you knew he was going to get out of there. You just knew it every time. I mean, it was awesome. It was a good fight. But, I don't like Allison as a character too much. I think she's a little I don't know. She just doesn't work for me. But whatever. She's great for the story in this new trilogy of movies. So we got the S list. Obviously, 1 and 2. Love it. These two are the best. We have The Night He Came Home, Halloween 1, and Halloween 2. But I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite movie out of these two is Halloween 2. Halloween fucking 2 is amazing. Nostalgia, everything you can ask for. Scared the living fucking shit out of me when I was a kid. It was such a great movie. The whole hospital setting is insanely gritty. It is just, Michael Myers looks so evil. The mask is insanely good. It's my favorite mask in the franchise, is Halloween 2 mask. I mean, my God, this movie is my favorite fucking movie of all time when it comes to horror, is Halloween 2. You got the hot tub scene, which I thought was brutal. I mean, for its time. Then you got the doctor with the syringe in the eye. It's like, holy shit, this movie is fucking awesome. And then the climax of the movie, Michael Myers blows up. Loomis goes with them. And he said, it's time, Michael. And then, boom! Fucking insane. Comes out with the fire. Toast. That's it. He walks through the glass. I mean, there's so many good horror elements to this movie that the sequel was better than the original, in my opinion. They did it way better. And not to say I love the fucking original. I think the original is great. Obviously, it's the biggest fucking movie there is. Halloween, the story, everything. John Carpenter going AWOL on this movie, making it one of the best movies ever. It's scary, it's gritty, it's everything you can ask for. And I saw Halloween 2 before Halloween 1. That's probably why I'm a little biased on this pick. But I think Halloween 1 is obviously a great movie. It set the tone for all slashers, in my opinion. I mean, anybody that watched a horror movie that likes them seen Halloween. So that's my ranking list for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think about the Halloween series. What's your favorite? What's your worst? Do you agree with my list? I think most of the list is pretty standard for a lot of people looking back on it now. But, I mean, God, man, this is such a good franchise, and hopefully Halloween Ends really does it for us, and they give us a great movie instead of that disappointing heat of trash from last year.